In Britain, the humble jacket potato is a staple of the native palate. It's cheap, filling, and becomes the vessel for an infinite number of topping combinations. And over the last few years, two vendors on TikTok have built wildly successful empires based on the art form of the baked potato. However, through their mutual success, they've developed a bitter rivalry. So how did a bloke from Tamworth and two brothers from Preston turn jacket potatoes into an internet phenomenon and end in a trademark dispute that fostered a civil war for the hottest potato on the internet? But first, if you didn't know, we make weekly documentary videos here on this channel, and it would be awesome if you could drop a like and a sub to the channel so we can keep on pumping out these videos. And if you can't get enough of me, make sure to follow me over on Spotify so you can watch and listen to my videos on the go. Anyway, let's get back into the video. In 2003, at 18 years old, Ben Newman, aka Spudman, started his potato business in Tamworth. His dad had originally been the supplier for the previous spud seller on the same spot, so when he learned that the pitch come up for sale, he paid 16 grand for it via a loan and went on to spend 20 years selling jacket potatoes. To the people of Tamworth, he was a local institution, but beyond the town, nobody really knew he existed. However, that all changed in 2021. Like a lot of people at the time, Ben had watched his kids disappear into TikTok during lockdown and decided to take a look at what all the fuss was about. Out of curiosity, he posted a couple of videos of him doing his thing, selling potatoes on the wagon. On just his third video, he got over 500,000 views. The kids put TikTok in front of me. I posted a couple of videos and the third one got 500,000 views. I like live streaming on there. I put a camera on and I get on with my day. It's very honest. There's nowhere to hide, you've got to be yourself. And that's exactly what people fell in love with. It was just Ben chatting to his customers, loading up potatoes, and just being a relentlessly nice bloke. One TikTok video showed Ben giving away a free potato with butter and cheese and a bottle of Dr. Pepper, and it racked over 120 million views. And the content itself is pretty mundane. I mean, the bloke is just scooping beans into a potato and asking where the customer came from that day. Although saying that, it does also kind of help that Ben has a massive pink mohawk to make himself stand out. But Ben actually grew this hairstyle out in support of Kidney Research UK, having himself needed 3 kidney transplants and regular dialysis.
I'd grown the business in something reasonable size, and we were doing all the big festivals up and down the country, like Download and Hyde Park and Nebworth and all these, and traveling lots. I didn't go home for most of the summer. So the pitch in the Tamworth would run itself, and then we'd have one for the festivals. Doing really well. All of a sudden, come back from a Download festival, kidneys had failed, too many energy drinks, and done myself in. All of a sudden, had to change the business very rapidly. From being able to travel to having to stay. Went to a few of the organisers we worked with, and they were like, "Well, we can't use you anymore." I was like, "Oh shit, I've literally grown up with you lot. Now you just cut me off. Crap, that's a massive chunk of my business." It literally cut my business in half. And then we had to unregister for VAT, and it was a massive step backwards. It took me a little while with the health to get myself straight. I was stubborn and I managed to keep the business going. I was very focused on I've got to get a transplant and then I can get back into it. 3 failed transplants, and we realised...
3 failed transplants?
3 failed transplants, and realised the transplant was never going to work. And then it's not rejection, but my body attacks them. One of the biggest weights lifting off my mind was going, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm on dialysis. I've accomplished so much more not waiting for a transplant and just being on dialysis and being okay with that, and just making everything fit around that. In the last 6 years since the last one failed, we've accomplished all of this. We'd grown, even with the transplants, waiting for the transplants, we've still grown the business to 8 outlets, but we kept it all local. And it wasn't potatoes, it was I had a hog roast unit and a burger unit. Coming out of COVID, I sold everything, and I was like, right, I'm selling everything, and I'm just gonna sell a new potato unit, and we're just gonna do potatoes in Tamworth, and I'm gonna get a better work-life balance, and it's gonna be nice and easy. And then because I'd got rid of all of that, I had time to properly put into the social media, and that's when we took it from a video a day to 6 videos
plus
a day.
Live.
That's when it went parabolic.
Being able to juggle a successful business, raising his 9 kids, and having kidney problems is incredibly impressive for both him and his spud wife. But by 2023, the queues at Tamworth were getting out of hand. People were travelling from all over the UK and even different corners of the planet. One customer apparently flew from the Philippines, hired a car, drove up to Tamworth, ate a potato, stayed overnight, and then flew back. By this point, Ben was apparently starting to sell up to 2,500 potatoes a day. To give back to the community, and in name of Kidney Research UK, Spudman held a free potato day, leading to 1,500 potatoes being given away to hundreds of customers.
The free day, we literally had a queue around the town. There must have been 500 people in this queue around the town, just queuing up for baked potatoes. They were waiting 4 hours. But that's when the mainstream media picked up on it. And at the time, I got really annoyed, not really annoyed, but I didn't get a chance to make any content for myself. And then I got home, after it all, sat down and I flicked through TikTok. Every other video on TikTok was us. They made content. Every person in that queue took a picture or made a video or did something, and it was completely organic.
While Ben was going viral in Tamworth, another potato vendor was stirring up an insane amount of viewership in Preston. The hot potato tram had been at the centre of the Preston flag market since 1955. The home for the potatoes was an old converted tram carriage that had been passed down through families for decades. The originator was apparently a guy called Ernie Rhodes, and changed hands a number of times over the years. In 2020, Keith Roberts Jr. passed away and entrusted the tram to his friend Tony Nelson. As a result, Tony's sons Jacob and Harley Nelson stepped in to help, and almost immediately they looked at what they had inherited and asked themselves how they could reinvent something boring like the concept of baked spuds. People would walk past and they'd go to Subway or McDonald's, and we asked them, why don't you buy a jacket potatoes? And they were just like, it's not sexy. So that was the business plan. How do we make jacket potatoes a bit more sexy? The first thing they did was rebrand like crazy. The hot potato tram became Spudbros, and then they strapped a GoPro to their head and started filming their interactions with customers. We rebranded to Spudbros in 2023, 13 months ago, and I think 2 or 3 days of posting a video, I think our second video went viral. It just snowballed from there. You have to understand the way social media works. Most brands are too polished, and what viewers really want now is unstaged social interaction. It's the culture of what's happening. People want to be part of a community where there's so little for them outside of work. It wouldn't work if the product wasn't good, but why are people queuing so long? They love the magic. In just a few years, the lads managed to grow their accounts to a whopping 8 million followers across platforms. So it was only logical to take this enormous wave of business and expand it beyond the tram. In November 2024, they opened their first physical pop-up restaurant called Spudbros Express in London's Soho. This pop-up was a short-term lease to test the success of the restaurant, but before the doors were even open, people were queuing from 6 in the morning just to get a potato. But with all of the success that both Spudman and Spudbros were finding, and both being two massively popular accounts, both centered on the same food, comparisons became inevitable. In fact, on the 10th of December 2023, Spudman posted a video in which he claimed that people were trolling other people using his name, specifically the Spudbros.
Right, Spud Army, I need a word with you. We need to shut something down that's getting out of hand. You're trolling people in my name. I'm not cool with this, okay? Specifically, the hot potato tram, the Spudbros. I've read the comments on their last video and you're all tagging me in it. I do not condone any of this. We all do stuff differently. Yes, the hot potato tram had a couple of little jabs at me when they were first getting going. They were finding their feet, whatever. Water under the bridge. I'm a big boy. I can take the odd little swing. Everything's cool between us. There is no beef. It makes me look like a bit of a dick when, you know, their comment section's just talking about me. Stop it, okay? We shut this shit down. I've had a word with you. Don't do it again.
Despite Spudman claiming that there wasn't serious beef at this relatively early part of their respective trajectories, as the months and years rolled on, the debate around which one was better became a little bit tribal, with people choosing sides like football teams. But with so much uncertainty in the air, it came down to 2 men to decipher this debate, Danny Malin and Gary Ease. On the 23rd of January 2024, Danny, formerly of the Rate My Takeaway channel, reviewed Spudman.
Come on then, the man with the pink hair, what is going on? It's gone crazy for you. Well done to you, that's all I can say. I started off with this one, with the chilli and cheese. It's a nice flavoured chilli on there. It's not too hot, it's a nice mild one. The cheese is absolutely amazing, you get a right nice cheese pull on that. The tater is cooked to perfection, it's nice and soft and you've got a nice crispy skin. That is amazing. I liked every single topping on there. That coleslaw were banging. I dipped a bit of that curry and that onion with the coleslaw. That's getting a bit naughty and dirty, but it's nice.
You know, this is all great and everything, but you've got to have return customers.
Yeah.
And you've got to have a good product that they want to come back for day in, day out. You know what, the TikTok has helped me through partnerships with other firms, like with the trays and stuff, keep my prices down because they are, you know, giving me trays, giving me products and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm keeping my prices down to my customers because I'm getting all this, you know, awesome stuff coming in from TikTok.
A few months later, on the 14th of April, Danny then reviewed Spudbros.
Here we are, look at this. Come with cloth of it out.
Come with fish flop.
There, class them. Look at that bad boy, guys. If you've not been, you've not been watching social media because the queues are a mile long. They've put together some absolute Beautiful potatoes, beautiful fillings, beautiful toppings. For me, guys, I can't give it nothing less than a solid 10.
So with both receiving positive reviews from Danny, the battle of the potatoes waged on. In July 2024, Spudman's clout got recognised both by Hollywood actors and the local council. He served Spuds to Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds, and his impact on Tamworth had become so significant that the council gave him the Freedom of Tamworth, which was essentially awarded to recognise his exceptional service to the town. To give the people further analysis of the potato wars, on the 26th of June 2024, Gary from the Gary Eats YouTube channel reviewed Spudman for the first time.
I'm not getting one, I'm not getting two, I'm going to get three. I'm going to get three different types. So open this one up first. I'll take a look at that. Now, before we even start, what they turn around and say is, would you like some butter in there? I said yes. They put salted butter in. Would you like salt and pepper? Bang. Yep, you have the salt and pepper. Then obviously you get your toppings. So the chili con carne and the cheese underneath. My first Spudman bite. Here we go. Is it the best chili I've ever had? It's probably not. Is it a good chili? It is. Again, I think it's a little bit difficult for them because if they made it a real spicy chili, then that'd be an issue, wouldn't it? Because a lot of people would say, oh, it's too spicy. So it's middle ground, really. All in all, what do I think? I think that's a nice chili. I love the way the cheese is completely melted. It's gooey. Potato, that's perfect.
On the 29th of August 2024, Jacob from the Spudbros uploaded a video addressing the competition and the rivalry between them and Spudman.
So the way I see it, people comparing us, Spudman, Spudbros, it's good. It's a good, healthy competition as long as people don't get personal, don't be nasty, and don't put others down. It's literally like the Pepsi and the Coke. Or you could say it's like the Ronaldo and Messi. Both don't speak to each other, both respect each other. There's always things that they're doing to try and compete with each other, do you know what I mean? In business, it is so healthy to have competition. 9 months ago, we rebranded to the Spudbros. 9 months ago, me and Harley come. Spudman had his TikTok all to himself. We've come along, he's upped his game, we've upped our game, and it has created something that we would never have thought that we had, and it is so good for everybody, not just us, for all Spud businesses.
In December 2024, shortly after the Spudbros opened their express store in Soho, Gary then reviewed Spudbros for the first time in a historic video to see who has the best potato.
Now, what I want to do is compare both. Which is better, Spudman or Spudbros? Look at that, that is actually a very big portion. Let's dive in here, right underneath. Oh, look at this. So lots of butter. That bit hasn't melted yet. It's all about the potato. Tiny little kick there. It's a nice chicken curry. Is it blowing me away? It hasn't. Would I eat that? Would I be satisfied? Of course I would. You got the cheese. And again, you've got the onion on top as well. What do I think of Spudbros? I'll tell you what, I think it's really good. Really, really trying to expand and broaden it and get it out there. Because you've got to bear in mind, they're up in the north of the country, they're up there in Preston. It takes a lot of bottle to actually open somewhere down here in London. Okay, it might be only for 3 months, 4 months, or whatever it is, but they're testing the water. I like that. I think that's very, very clever. However, it then creates this issue. You've got this north-south divide, because up in Preston, what I had would be half the price it is here in London. The rents here, the rates are absolutely massive, and it's a bit of a cough. This is a hard comparison for me, because do I base it on the prices I've just paid, or do I think about the prices it is in Preston? And I'm going to base it more so on the Preston prices. Is it better than Spudman? No, I don't think it's better. Is it worse than Spudman? Is it jacket potato?
In February 2025, Spudman got into a debacle with the local council, and it didn't involve potatoes at all. It was actually because of a flower bed. Tamworth Borough Council announced plans for regenerative work, and the plans threatening to permanently relocate Ben from his pitch that he'd been at for over 2 decades. The council offered him an alternative site. However, Ben argued that would be bad for business and it would block views of the church.
So, let's give you a little update. Council put a statement out last night, basically saying, I'm overreacting. They only want to move me a couple of meters, a minuscule amount of distance. I call bullshit. You want to move me in front of the church. My pitch is there, and they want to move me over there. That was one of the suggested positions. That, by the way, is a big bench that they want me to block off. And that is the church. The church can't be blocked because it's beautiful. There, no one, people taking pictures of the church, not a problem. Me there, big fat Spudman's face is going to be in everyone's pictures, aren't they? Yes, and who's going to be upset about that? Everybody. So, yeah, I call bullshit. You'll move me there, then you'll be having an uproar, and then I'll get moved somewhere else. I want my pitch. Do we need a flower bed there? No, we do not.
Within days, over 65,000 people had signed the petition demanding the council to reinstate his pitch. To the council's credit, they responded publicly and reversed the decision after it reached national headlines. Around this same time in February, viral American food reviewer Keith Lee arrived in the UK to see what the jacket potato craze was all about. Naturally, while in London, he went to Spudbros, but he wasn't really a fan.
Jacket potato. And this one is curry chicken with tram sauce, crispy onions, and garlic butter. There's so much garlic butter, if I move, it's gonna tip everywhere. Beans too. Again, this is tuna with mayo, crispy onions, tram sauce, which is like a spicy mayo, butter garlic or garlic butter, cheese, and a potato. I'm gonna try to get everything at once. Again, I'm going to it extremely open-minded. You never know. I'm fully aware that the behind the scenes of this entire review was already posted by somebody in my team by mistake, which is completely okay. But the way it was reacted to made me not want to post a review at all. Only reason I'm posting it is because I was asked for my opinion on multiple occasions. And I don't like the narrative that was spun that I was being disrespectful, when in reality, the owner was sitting right there while I was trying, and he saw my reaction and gave me a thumbs up about it. The owner sitting right there, he just gave me a thumbs up.
Now, after this video was posted, Keith received backlash for his reaction to the food, but also had people agreeing with him. In response to this, the Spudbros released a video responding to the situation.
So, the Keith Lee full review is out. Not the little short clip where he spat the cheese, beans, tuna out that we all saw on the internet. And yeah, we just tried to make a bad situation like good, I suppose, and we just did a bit of like light-hearted banter and a bit of sarcasm there as well. Anyway, cheese, beans and tuna is not to everybody's taste. We absolutely get that. I mean, his wife likes it and his cousin. If my wife likes something, that means I like it, right? But there's absolutely no hard feelings there. Respect that Keith Lee come. He's one of the biggest food reviewers.
Although Keith didn't get a potato from Spudman and gave a negative review as arch enemies, Ben didn't appreciate a Yank coming over and trampling all over our incredible cuisine of tuna and beans.
Shame on the company that sold it to him. But begrudgingly, I am going to defend them and say that was not that bad. I've built this, you know, hype around jacket potatoes over the last 4 years or so, and that man has just come over here and took a pop at it, and I don't think he'd done it in any sort of fair way. Food review is meant to be a blank canvas, go in and judge it on its merits. He's not. I would go as far as saying if you're a UK business serving traditional British food, you ain't gonna get a good review from him at all. By the looks of all the stuff he's done so far, he's gonna go after fish and chip shops, he's gonna go after the pie and liquor shops, he's gone after the jacket potatoes. We ain't gonna get anything good come out of it.
On the 20th of April 2025, Spudman replied to a comment underneath one of his videos, which insinuated that he was jealous of Spudbros. I understand why people try to compare me to them, but I was here long before them. I'll be here long after them, and they're just in it for the fame, not the potatoes. Although Ben believes Spudbros are just in it for the fame, he expressed his love for the potato game even more when he revealed that he spent over 200 grand on a brand new trailer.
The customers do not give a shit. That potato unit is the best potato unit in the world. Absolutely, hands down. No, the company that build it, for sure, are the best in the country.
And you've got another one on the way?
Yeah, not as big as that.
Okay.
That one's 22 foot, this one's 18 foot.
And what does that one cost you?
110.
So you spent over 300,000, over £250,000 on trailers.
In 6 months.
But Ben wasn't the only one making big moves. In June 2025, Spudbros became the official front shirt sponsor of their local football club, Preston North End. In September of 2025 is where this rivalry between Spudbros and Spudman becomes a bit spicier. You see, as Spudbros grew, expanding into physical shops, launching merch, developing franchises, they took the decision to formalize their intellectual property. In June 2025, Jacob and Harley filled their trademark names of the SpudFather and Spud Army with the UK Intellectual Property Office. Now, Spud Army is a name that Spudman frequently uses throughout his videos, and at this same time, a small jacket potato vendor based in Portsmouth opened a new business called the SpudFather, which leaned into the idea basing their branding around the movie The Godfather. Rumour claimed that they built this concept independently and wasn't copying Spudbros. However, when the SpudFather filed for their own trademark application, the UK IP office automatically notified Spudbros, giving them the opportunity to oppose the application. This subsequently led to the brothers' lawyers sending a letter through the IPO. What followed was a firestorm of abuse from people who didn't really understand the situation or just straight up believed that the brothers were wrong for trying to shut down a small business. A candy reseller who commented on one of their TikToks claimed that he had now been blocked by the Spudbros. Underneath this video, Spudman commented, "Yeah, I really regret the amount of help I gave them at their start. I even helped them get their first brand deals." After the trademark was announced, some people were left confused, while others believed that Spudbros were well within their rights to protect their brand. Didn't Spudbros copy Spudman? Isn't Spudman the OG and Spudbros just copied him and became bigger? If it's trademarked, then the Spudbros are in their right here. In October 2025, Rumored of the SpudFather released a statement on Facebook revealing that he was coming under legal pressure. "I never thought I'd have to write something like this. After months of graft, long days, late nights, and putting everything we have into the SpudFather, we've now been threatened with legal actions from Spudbros over the use of our name. They've trademarked several potato-related words and are now trying to stop us from using the SpudFather. It's gutting. We've poured our heart and soul into this, from the name to the menu to every bit of branding and hard work behind the scenes. This isn't just a business to us, it's something we've built with pride, passion, and community spirit. To suddenly face the threat of losing it because a bigger company wants to throw their weight around, it's hard to put into words how disheartening that feels. The stress and worry have taken a real toll, mentally and emotionally. Thank you to every single person who stood by us, sent messages, and kept us going through this. Your support means the world." A few days later, on the 27th of October 2025, Jacob from the Spudbros released their first statement addressing the trademark situation after some of the abuse became unbearable. "This isn't a statement we ever wanted to make, but when my 3-year-old daughter starts receiving threats, enough is enough. There are rumours flying about that we've sued a small business called the SpudFather, or that we're trying to ruin someone's livelihood. We're not suing anyone. Not now, not ever. When we opened Spudbros Express last year, we launched a dish called the SpudFather named after our dad. He's been peeling potatoes, running the tram, and supporting us since day one. He's the reason we're on this incredible journey. As we grew, we developed merch, franchises, expanded, and had discussions with major retailers. We therefore trademarked the SpudFather to protect it. In June, we paid for it, filed for it, and it was approved and registered in September before any other business applied for the same name. Trademarks exist to prevent confusion and protect brands, and honestly, every business should do a simple trademark search before launching. If that had been done here, none of this would have happened. To be absolutely clear, there is no lawsuit, no court case, just a standard legal reply to protect something that belongs to our business and our dad's legacy. We haven't tried to shut anyone down. We love seeing small food businesses thrive. We were one, and in many ways, we still are. We wish this hadn't gone online before we'd even had the chance to speak to one another, resolve this, or get a response from the IPO. There's been a huge misunderstanding, and suddenly we're dealing with threats towards my 3-year-old daughter, and people saying they would vandalise the tram. I've now reached out privately to the SpudFather, which, in hindsight, I wish I'd done before. After this statement was made, the SpudFather posted a video explaining how this fight against Spudbros was mentally and emotionally draining him.
Unfortunately, I think we might have to change our name. You know, we're a really small business. It's taken a long time. It's a long journey, hard work, so many different emotions, you know, trying to get this up and ready and running. And we're a small business, you know, really small business. I opened this, you know, we were born and bred in Pompey. We opened this for our locals, someone else just to come and be like, yeah, that's it. You know, it's quite disheartening. You know, the past few days, it's been quite hard. All my hard work, hours, time into it. And in the past few days, it's been tough. I think I might have to take a couple of days off, just, you know, recharge and get back to 100%. Figure, you know, all this out, because it is hard. Do you know what I mean? It is hard.
As the battle waged on the 7th of December 2025, Danny and Gary, who now formed into one channel, released a video in which they reviewed both Spudman and Spudbros in the same video, to categorically find out who has the best potato.
So can we have one of them then, please?
Cheese, beans, cheese.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, guys. It ain't heavy.
Nice bit of a cheese pull there. Oh yes, look at
And
that.
you got the crispy onions on top.
Crispy onions. So this is your classic, innit? Everybody loves a cheese and bean potato.
It's not reinventing the wheel. It's your staple. So I've got to say something, Spudman, you're gonna have to go some here.
Definitely. To come up level or beat these guys.
That's pretty hard. It's going to be tough. Round 2 is here in Tamworth.
So we're here. Look at that new van. That if that's not a statement, I don't know what is. How are we doing?
This is an honour, this is.
Mate, this van is amazing.
It's amazing having you two together.
Hey, how are we doing?
Oh, mate,
Nice to
this is
see
going to be
you.
awesome.
Soft fluffy potato. Nice bit of burnt on the skin. You've got the beans, the cheese, the crispy onions. It's delicious.
Beautiful.
That is the classic. That is the OG of Spuds. Prices?
Yep.
Spudbros for that pile of food were £19.50.
Yep.
Spudman, 21 quid. Nothing in
£1.50.
it.
To me, both very, very similar
Yep.
in regards to the cheese and the beans. No difference to me. Then when it comes to the chili, Spudbros have got that.
I thought Spudbros had got it. It was a bit more meatier.
Yep.
There were a lot more flavour in there. It was like a bit spicier.
Yeah. However,
The specials.
oh, forget it. This is where it's a game changer
Yeah.
for me. Spudman wins all day long. That's one of the best jacket potatoes I've ever had.
You've got two jacket potato places that have just actually taken the country by storm,
Yep.
put the UK on the map for Spuds, which is amazing.
Applause to both of them.
Both in their own way have done different things. They've both gone down different paths, but both done the same thing and got the humble jacket potato, a national dish.
On the 12th of December 2025, Spudbros released a video in which they addressed the trademark situation and revealed that they would be releasing the name Spud Army after one of Spudman's representatives showed interest in the name.
2 years ago, me and Harley took over our dad and we had the vision to build a global brand and trying to inspire the younger generation. What did we do? We trademarked Spudbros. If you are serious about building a business, that is the first thing you do. As we have grown as a business, we have got more opportunities on the table. And as a business, if you see that vision and you see those opportunities, you've got to protect yourself. By the way, guys, we haven't trademarked the word Spud, just things that are related to our business. One of the biggest opportunities that we've had is the Preston North End. We are the front shirt sponsor. As the relationship progressed with Preston North End, we saw a lot of opportunities, and one of those opportunities were Spud Army. The reason why we actually did this is because fans were chanting Spud Army, and we also saw fans were making merch with Spud Army, Spudbros and Preston North End. So what we did, we looked online, and that trademark was available for anyone to get. Sat here, looking back now, was that the right thing to do? No, it wasn't, and we will take full responsibility for that. We just reacted on an opportunity. Recently, we received a letter from Spudman's representative that was showing interest in the trademark. We as a team have got together and we've decided to release the trademark. We no longer own this trademark. Let's be clear, Spudman, we have got a lot of respect of what you are doing. Great to see that the jacket potatoes are getting the recognition that they deserve. We have actually learned so much about business and social media. The last 2 years has been absolutely crazy. And, you know, we're not going to get everything right all the time. We've always wanted to build a global brand, and the vision, it hasn't changed.
After this video, and as a result of the trademark dispute, Ruman and the SpudFather changed their name to Spud Fusion to avoid any further disputes from Spudbros. Despite the setback, they appear to be flying and are even opening a second new location in a few weeks. In February 2026, Spudman appeared on a podcast where he discussed his beef with Spudbros, why he doesn't like some of their practices, and why he isn't a big fan of franchising.
There's other Spud companies out there now that are opening up shops.
Yep.
What's your opinion on opening up shops?
I don't like bricks and mortar. I don't think it works as well as a trailer. In a trailer, if you pitched up in a town and it wasn't any good, you try somewhere else. If you've built yourself out a shop and you've signed a lease and all of this, you're tied in for however long. You can take the signs off, but you're not going to take the paint off and take it to the next job, are you? It's very static. I've been around this for a very long time to know that there's very few shops over the years that have actually worked really well. I prefer the mobile. I think we just have very much gone in different directions. I love the little guys. I love keeping it local. I love going and supporting the little local guys that have been there for, their pitches for donkey's years. Partly because my dad used to supply them. One of the reasons why I could never have done the franchise right is because I couldn't go up against them. My old man would be turning his grave if I pitched up next to some old boy that had been his customer for 20 years. I know how I would feel if that wagon came to my doorstep. I'd be gutted. I'd be like, he's come here to take it all when I'm not. I come somewhere to help promote the local guy. And so they do better.
Would you say there's beef on your end?
Not really. I try and avoid them. I don't agree with the way they do some stuff, so I just stay away from them. It's easy as that. Like, I do my own thing and how I want to do it, and that kind of clashes when they're opening up shops on people that I would say are good friends of mine's doorsteps. I just don't think there's a better way of doing business, which doesn't impact other people. You know what I mean? You can be a lot more courteous in your placement of shops.
Although Spudman has no interest in franchising, Ben is now selling seed potatoes up and down garden centres across the UK. Spudbros, on the other hand, announced in May 2026 that they were expanding into 30 more locations across the country.
Anyway, announcement. So, as you guys know, we opened up 2 shops with EG in Blackburn and Wakefield. And guys, they have done absolutely fantastic. So we are actually opening up another
30, yes, 30 Spudbros Expresses across the UK. We're doing a 3-year deal with Taster, with EG, and we are bringing the potatoes to you.
Ben Newman, who's been doing this potato thing for over 20 years, is still standing on the same patch of Tamworth tarmac. Meanwhile, Jacob and Harley have taken a 70-year-old tram and turned it into a brand that's about to be in 30 locations across the country. They're now completely different operations with completely different visions, and to be honest, that's completely fine. Well, if you've made it this far, I really do appreciate you watching. If you're new here, make sure to drop a like and a sub to the channel. Make sure to follow me over on Instagram at FatMemer, and comment below what you want to see next. And as always, I'll see you in the next one.